It was like an inside job, like the government was gonna try to take people's businesses if they weren't able to pay those PPP loans back. So, I mean,
Mhm.
we stayed open. We were crushing it. You know, when the water bottles sold out of the store, I had a line wrapped around my entire building. And but yeah, I just never got around to doing that PPP loan, bro. Like I didn't want nothing to do with it. I was like, I don't want no free handouts from the government, especially if they're gonna come back and want that money
I
back from
mean, they did, bro. People had to pay taxes on that stimulus, you know? They
us.
printed it out of thin air and then made people pay taxes on it. Oh man, just cracks me up, bro, how just ignorant people are to the financial system due to lack of education, bro. Like so many people would come up and just completely change their lives if they just took a second and started just learning and educating themselves about how money really works. Man, it's crazy. But yeah, so let's jump in. I'm going to play these video clips real quick. The first video, before we jump into the discussion today, is an individual representative talking about the exponential evolution of technology and how they're building out a new financial system. And then the second video clip is another individual representative on the same panel discussion talking about how this transformation is not going to happen overnight. And that'll lead us into our discussion talking about why the cryptocurrency market since March has pulled back, really giving our viewers and our followers an inside perspective on liquidity in the markets, order flow, why certain assets are doing and performing certain ways. So that way we can kind of alleviate our followers from following these bullish moon boys, these unrealistic individuals in the crypto sphere that have just been constantly pumping out these bullish price predictions, leaving everybody just freaking mentally destroyed, bro. It's so sickening. So, anyways, let's roll these video clips real quick.
Fantastic. Really appreciate those insights. Miguel, can you finish kicking us off with this discussion? Why are we here?
I'll take you from the specific to the general and in increasing generality. But let me start with this. I think it's fundamental to discuss that we're living in an exponential evolution of technology era, right? And this implies that the digital realm is touching our everyday lives ever more. And when we thought about financial exclusion in the past, we could thought that it was bad because people would not get access to financial services. But if we think in financial exclusion right now, we can actually keep people out of society. So that is something that modern societies would not want to see. Now, given this situation, we have to see what our financial market infrastructures look like today, in terms of the capabilities of processing transactions, in terms of the capability of producing different business cases and functionalities on a production scale that can serve this very big demand that is coming due to this digitalization process. And we can realize immediately that we need new financial market infrastructure. So Tony mentioned it in the last panel, and I think he's right on spot, that we need to rethink how things work in the back end. Now,
all right, so he's talking about how they've had discussions, talking about rethinking how things work in the back end, how there is a huge digital transformation and a massive demand for digital technologies unfolding at a rapid pace, so on and so forth. Just confirming the 4IR, just showing you guys that, you know, this technological evolution is going to continuously expand. This video breakdown is only from 8 months ago, so it's relatively recent, within a year, and it only has a 402 views. So let me just play a video clip. This is the last one where they're talking about the transformation is not going to happen overnight, and that'll allow us to roll over into our talking points for today. So we're going to go to 1820.
Like get their heads around what that means, because it is in fact so radical. And I think you said it so professionally and calmly, but it is a very radical idea. So what do we do to get there? Well, I think it's to Miguel's point. A lot of limitations are not technical. The technology exists and it's operating in certain parts of the internet today. You know, operating is kind of, I'll use that word very loosely, right? Well, not well, depends on who you ask. It's really going to involve, I think, reimagining our policy environments, reimagining our business relations, how we're defining customer business relationships, how we're defining peer-to-peer, who is a peer in what context, what are we exchanging and when and how, what parameters should we have to have around that. And I think we should get there slowly. This is not change that should happen overnight, But I do think this change is inevitable. I firmly believe that. And I think the sooner that we start having the conversations in this way, with this as a sort of starting point and the foundation, the better off our policy and regulatory environment is going to be around accommodation of this, rather than sort of resisting, this sort of
Right. So I just wanted to play that video clip because I feel like a lot of people, especially new individuals, new entrants into this space, they come in, they buy at highs, they get slaughtered, the market has a downturn, they lose money, and they get discouraged because they never really understood in the first place that this market owes them nothing. Cryptocurrency assets owe you nothing. Because you're an investor in crypto doesn't mean you're going to become rich overnight. And the vast amount of individuals don't understand the long-term perspective. Long-term, market's bullish, but these short-term fluctuations, it'll behoove you as an investor to really start to understand them, understand why assets like crypto, risk assets, are performing the way that they are intraday. That means every single day, week, and month, why, prices are either bullish or bearish. So that way you really understand the order flow of the market, how to situate yourself on the correct side of the market during the certain market downturns, and just really paying attention to what's actually happening and not all of the opinions in the market. So in today's video, I'm going to do my best to explain to you guys from a retail access perspective. That means that all of the fundamentals that I'm going to break down for you today and the report that I gave you guys publicly on Twitter from our private CYPRX community are easily accessible for every single retail trader to go dive into, to learn, so you can see how easy it is to really grasp simple concepts about these markets, so you understand what's happening and you're not confused following these bullish moon boys that live in their mom's basements that have been telling you for the past 5 months now that these digital assets are going to see brand new all-time highs. And every single week, every single month, you probably go to bed, expecting your portfolio to 10x, 20x. And every single time you wake up, that doesn't happen, and you see lower and lower and lower prices. It's because market makers with much more money than you and I are dumping on you because they understand the order flow of the markets and where to actually put their money to make money in certain market conditions. So I'm going to explain that to you guys today. And if you all stick around, you're going to get educated. You're going to see an insight perspective from within our private community, and why our community is so successful, and why we always have an edge in the market, because we pay attention to this stuff. But I wanted to start off with these video clips to just confirm my overall opinion about the market as a whole. Long-term is bullish. I don't want anybody to think, because I'm explaining in detail why we've experienced a recent market downturn, and I'm personally projecting that we're going to experience more turmoil in the future, whether that's next month, the month after, or in a couple months from now. I still think another shakeout is on the horizon. I don't want anybody to misunderstand that by thinking, oh, Cypress is bearish, he's calling for lower prices. No, I just understand the current market environment. And if that market environment changes, I will also change my perspective. Long-term bullish. Short-term, yes, we're experiencing some market turmoil. So this video breakdown is going to help you in depth understand why. So make sure that you stick around to the end of this. Thank you, Mr. Aqua, for tapping in with me today. I know that you're going to be more on the quiet side, so I do appreciate you for joining in on the call. And anybody else that's watching this, if you don't follow Mr. Aqua, make sure that you go check him out on the X Space and on YouTube. And if you're Mr. Aqua's follower, come over to the CYPRX YouTube and the CYPRX X profile and give me a follow as well. So let's jump in. We're going to start with this post just to kind of wrap your head around why I even started this call and why I want to do this breakdown, because I'm sure, like the vast amount of individuals listening to this call right now, you're sick and tired of waking up every morning, jumping on crypto Twitter and jumping on crypto YouTube and just being misled, misguided, misinformed. I mean, it's the age of information. And if you're still tapping into individuals that are constantly touting the same misinformation every single day, and you're watching that, that is going to become your reality. You are what you soak up. You become what it is that you consume. If you're constantly consuming garbage, you're constantly consuming misinformation, you're constantly consuming bullish moon boy hopium and hype, most likely you're not going to perform well in this market. And it should be everybody's goal in this market to make money. I came into this market 9 years ago to make money. And over the past 4.5 to 5 years, I've consistently held a track record of doing that every single year. The first couple of years I was in this market, I lost vast majority of the time, just like everybody else. But there was a point, a turning point in my career where I was like, and this actually happened in 2019 when we all got locked down in our house. I was just talking to Mr. Aqua about this offline. I had a turning point in my career where I got tired of losing. I got tired of following people that had no freaking idea what the heck they were talking about. So I took it upon myself to learn the markets more in depth, created a private community that focused on this, and really taught myself order flow in the market. And when I did that, I understood the fundamentals, I understood the global landscape, and I understood what the central banks were doing, what the smart money was doing. You start to see the order flow in the market, and you start to see where the money lies. And I'm going to, again, physically show you that in today's video breakdown. So I say to you guys on X, if you want to profit in the crypto space, you need to level up your approach. Are you tired of seeing beta males in this space complain about price all the time? Because I know I sure am. They're either doing one of two things. These beta males, this is who I'm talking about, the influencers that are just constantly drawing lines and trend lines and Fibonacci's on their charts, constantly on live calls talking about know what you hold, price is going to go to $100 one day. Shut that shit up. It's time to get real, people. Yes, I have a firm belief that we're going to see exponential growth in the crypto market, but in the current environment in which we operate in now, today, that is not realistic. That is not realistic, people. And when you understand that, you will stop hoping for that, and you will start to position yourself in opportunities in the market right now instead of listening to these idiots on the internet. Man, let me tell you what, okay? So if you're tired of that, if I'm appealing to you, listen further, because this video breakdown is going to blow your mind. Many individuals, most people listening, and probably about 98% of retail traders enter into the cryptocurrency market hoping to make money, but they end up losing because they avoid investing in their education. When given the chance to learn and improve, often for a modest fee, because education most of the time is not free. If you want to level up and get off YouTube and get off Twitter, you have to pay for your education. Most people, they hesitate and they continue to wander aimlessly, waiting around for success to fall in their lap. Do not, I repeat, do not be one of those people. Cannot stress enough. Consider two types of individuals. The first individual is a proactive individual who invests in their education and continuously expands their knowledge and actively learns about the market trends. The second individual is the more passive one, the beta male, who follows unqualified sources and relies on vague bullish predictions all the time, never bothering to deepen their understanding about the markets. Who do you think will succeed? If you think it's the second person, you're 110% dead wrong. Most people with a logical state of mind and thinking will understand that the person that would succeed is number one. Yet, why do the vast amount of individuals in crypto not take the number one proactive approach? They never invest in their education. They never want to join a private community that has an edge. They're always making excuses, and they're always just being in a losing state of mind. Makes no sense. But again, remember what I said. Most people want to come into this money and make in this market and make money, but nobody wants to put in the elbow grease to do so. So it is time for my followers, Mr. Aqua's followers, and anybody that's in the CYPRX community. We're already thriving, but people listening in, maybe for the first time, or maybe you've been here before, it's time to mature. It's time to invest in your education. It's time to join communities that offer a genuine edge. While some people will embrace this, it's sad to say that many people will not. So again, I will reiterate this question. Aren't you tired of seeing people complain about market conditions and constantly on the internet ask, what's going on? Why is crypto down? What's happening? Oh my gosh, why is XRP going from 65 cents back down to 45 cents when the Ripple versus SEC case just came into fruition or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's bullshit, people. Wake up. So here's a tip. Learn how to read market sentiment properly, understand risk management, and analyze institutional order flow. Once you do this, you will stop worrying and pissing your pants every single time you check your portfolio. It is now time to start making informed market decisions. And I shared a couple screenshots. I don't know this individual personally. I used him as an example because he has thousands upon thousands of followers. Okay. Slumdog Millionaire, he said, I'm down $250,000 in the last month. Seriously thinking about cashing out here and leaving this shit space. First of all, this space is not shitty. You are just a shitty fucking investor, period. Okay. That's a fact. If you're losing money in this space, do not blame the market. The stock markets don't suck because you lost money. You suck because you don't know how to trade the stock markets properly. It's the same thing with crypto. If you're losing money in crypto, it's not crypto that sucks. It's you that sucks. So what are you going to do to change your market approach? Because the crypto market is going to continuously go up, down, and sideways and present opportunities to people that want to take advantage of those opportunities. And individuals like this that don't want to take an advantage of educating themselves are going to constantly get slaughtered. And I'm just using this guy as an example. Like I said, I don't know this individual personally, and I'm not talking shit about him, but his mindset is garbage presented to thousands of people, which are going to relate to this because it's the type of concept that they consume. It's the type of content all the time that they're consuming. They're following this guy because he became a millionaire at some point in time in his career. And now, according to his post, he's sucking at trading. So other people are going to relate to this and they're be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm sucking too. I'm going to give up too. No, that's bullshit. You're weak if you give up. Facts. You're weak. Quit. Go home. This market's not for you. This market and any other market out there are for people that want to educate themselves, that want to rise above the normal way of thinking and present themselves an edge in this market. So again, let me do that for you. And just to show you guys, community members trying to wake people up. Here's one of our top traders in the CYPRX community trying to enlighten people. He told this individual, come on over, check out Cyprus. The dude is a freaking legend. At least you owe it to yourself to scope out the team and see what the mentors provide. But again, most people will not take advantage. Here's another private CYPRX member. Cyprus is a beast when it comes to showing you proof in the information, right? I'll stop it there. So let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to go over our private CYPRX report. If you guys want to open this and read along with me, you're more than welcome to. The link is directly on my X profile. Okay. I can see right now that there's actively about 36 people looking at this. So if you guys want to, again, open this and follow along, the link is on X. You guys can go check it out. It's like one of the most recent posts that I made. And these fundamental reports, I hand type out. I sift through all the market fundamentals every single morning, and I hand type out these reports for the private community members. So that way they actually know the right side of the market to be on, whether the market is bearish for the day, bullish for the day, right? Whether the projection the next week, the week after is set to be bullish or bearish, and go off of facts. I don't go off of opinions. And the CYPRX community members have seen week after week after week why and how we are so accurate. Okay. This is not magic. We're not using indicators here. We're not scaling out magic Fibonacci's, touting out bullish price predictions, drawing trend lines on our chart and all that bullshit. No, this is accurate fundamental analysis and an understanding of where the money is at in the market. So let me show you. Okay. So we're going to skip the part about the FX markets because I personally trade GBP USD as my FX pair of choice. We'll skip that. We're going to scroll down here to where we start to talk about gold and where we start to talk about crypto. Okay. And the things that I want to get you all to realize is where the money is at right now in the market, why there's more money right now being pumped and injected into gold over cryptocurrency right now. I'm going to physically explain and break this all down for you guys. So again, make sure that you stick around for the entirety of this video, because anybody that does, you're going to learn a lot. Okay. And you're going to see here at CYPRX, we're not individuals that are just pumping out our perspective, and we're actually paying attention to what matters in the market. So I wrote, let's zoom into this. By the way, on this report, you guys have clickable links. So everything that I use to write this report, you guys have clickable links. Most of these links you can click on. I have screenshots from all of the fundamental reports that are updated. None of this information is outdated. So that way you all can see. Remember, like I mentioned, this is all information that every single retail trader has access to, but nobody wants to pay attention to it. Okay. So I wrote, why is gold booming and crypto for now is not? Keep in mind, crypto for now is not. Remember that while I'm going through this, my long-term projection of the cryptocurrency markets, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now is bullish. But why is the market from the beginning of March this year, why is crypto pulled back? We topped out at $2.7 trillion and we dipped all the way back down into $1.7 trillion this year. Why did that happen? It didn't just happen for no reason. It happened because of a shift in liquidity, a shift in an order flow shift where money from crypto went into another asset class. I'm going to physically show you all where that went and why that happened. So first, let's understand why gold is bullish. For those of you who don't know, gold today hit a brand new all-time high. That should show you that something in the financial markets is happening. This is not, gold just doesn't hit new all-time highs for no reason. If you go ask every average day people on the street that hold crypto, they're not going to know why the heck gold hit a new all-time high, but they're sure concerned most likely about why their crypto portfolio was down. Guarantee you that. So first, let's understand why gold is bullish. Gold has recently seen a surge in demand, reaching a new all-time high today due to several key factors. So here is a full breakdown of that. First, we have the interest rate cuts. The perspective that the Federal Reserve is soon to start to cut interest rates. Here you can see a fundamental piece from today, August 16th, 2024. Gold spikes to a new all-time high on continued expectations of Fed rate cuts. And I included these fundamentals so you guys don't think I'm making this stuff up out of my ass. Okay. So we're going to talk about Federal Reserve policy shift here. The Federal Reserve, as of right now, because again, this information could change depending on market conditions and market sentiment and day-to-day news that comes out. But right now, the Federal Reserve is expected to initiate a series of interest rate cuts starting in September. Initially, there was an anticipation of 50 basis point cuts, but this has been adjusted, with a 25 basis point cut now considered more likely. Despite the adjustment, the general trend toward lower rates remains strong as an incentive for investors to seek alternatives like gold. This also has an impact on bond yields. As interest rate cuts loom, bond yields, particularly on the 10-year U.S. Treasury, have declined, making them less attractive compared to gold. The 10-year U.S. Treasury yield have slumped to around 3.91%. Expectations for future cuts. With the market speculation leaning towards continued cuts in 2025, the forecast for gold has been raised. Lower interest rates reduce the opportunity cost of holding gold, which does not offer a yield, making it more attractive of an investment. And here is a link to an entire PDF where in our private community, we discussed in detail what the opportunity cost of holding gold is, so that way our private community understands what this means highlighted in blue. If you don't understand the terminology, opportunity cost of holding gold, click this report, open it, educate yourself in your free time. It's over 18 different slides breaking this down for you step by step, piece by piece. Okay. So number two. So first we have the interest rate cut expectation. And again, we're covering why right now gold is bullish, which is going to full circle. And I'm going to physically show you guys where the money is at, where the money is not, and why your digital assets are not performing well, like all these bullish moon boys have been telling you since the beginning of the year is going to happen. You're going to physically see that. I'm telling you right now, it's going to blow your mind. So the second reason gold is bullish is because of the weaker US dollar. So that way you don't think I'm making this up out of my ass. Here you can see an inverse correlation, which is something that we pay attention to here at CYPRX. From April 2024, at the beginning of this year, you can see an increased demand in gold. At the same exact time, April 2024, on the right-hand side, we have the US dollar index, or the strength of the DXY in terms of charts. And at the same exact time that gold started to increase in value in April 2024, you can see that the dollar started to decline. We have an inverse correlation here. So dollar index decline, let's break this down. The US dollar index, which measures the dollar strength against a basket of currencies, has dropped, slipping today about 0.3%. As of time of writing this, I'm not too entirely sure where the dollar is at right now. I'm sure that it's down even further on the day. The dollar strength against the basket of currencies has dropped, and this marks its fourth consecutive week of losses. A weaker dollar makes gold cheaper for buyers using other currencies, increasing demand. Then we also have some economic indicators. Recent economic data, such as Producer Price Index, or PPI, and the Consumer Price Index, indicate a moderate disinflation trend continuing, reinforcing the expectations of a dovish Federal Reserve at their next meeting. This, in turn, tends to put downwards pressure on the dollar and further supports gold prices. So this is now reason number two that gold is bullish. And again, this is going to full circle. I'm going to explain to you guys why gold is bullish, why crypto right now is bearish. Number three, another fundamental factor driving demand for gold. We have geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. And so that way, again, you don't think I'm just making this up off the top of my head. Here is a fundamental screenshot from August 13th, 2024. And you can see the headline literally reads, "Oil and gold prices surge as tensions rise in the Middle East." Crude oil and gold prices surged due to escalating tensions in the Middle East and the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. So we have two global tensions escalating on a consistent basis, driving more demand for safe haven assets. We have the Ukraine-Russian crisis, which generally speaking is relatively priced into risk or safe haven assets already. And then we have the more fresh escalations in the Middle East that keep continuously unfolding, right? So here you can see another fundamental report from today, August 16, 2024, just so that way you guys can see that this stuff is all fresh. It's happening right now. Just recently, the Israeli army calls for a new evacuation in the Gaza area as conflict rages on. So we're still seeing global uncertainty amidst geopolitical tensions and escalations. So here I wrote, the Gaza conflict. Renewed evacuations in Gaza and the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas have heightened geopolitical tensions, such as uncertainties, which often lead investors to seek safe haven assets like gold. That means investors with much more money than you and I are not interested right now in crypto because it is a risky asset, which I'm going to prove to you in today's video breakdown. They are seeking safety in assets like gold, which over the course of history have proved safe haven status, right? Hedge against uncertainty. Gold is traditionally viewed as a hedge against both geopolitical and economic uncertainties. In times of conflict, our economic instability and demand for gold typically rises as it is considered a stable store of value, right? And then last but not least, we have some market sentiment and projections, which I mentioned to you all. So analysts right now are projecting, including Commerce Bank, I'm not going to butcher this gentleman's name, have raised, but if you guys again want to click the link in the descriptions, all of the links, by the way, that I used for these fundamentals that I've attached to our reports, you can find them at the very bottom of the page, and you can click them open and you can read them yourselves if you ever want to, okay? Just thought I'd throw that in there. But going back up here. So they have raised their forecast for gold, expecting prices to surpass this year $2,500 per troy ounce by year end. This optimistic look on gold as of right now, because this environment could shift, fuels investor sentiment, attracting more capital into gold. Just like in crypto, if investors are expecting more prices, people get greedy, they keep buying into gold, they keep buying into crypto, prices go higher, right? Simple supply and demand. So in summary, a combination of expected interest rate cuts by the Federal Reserve, let's fully break down and reiterate why gold is so bullish, a weakening US dollar, and the escalating geopolitical tensions in the Middle East have significantly boosted the demand for gold, driving up its prices to new highs. So now you all fully understand why gold is bullish. This plays an important role because as we take a look at the inverse correlation in crypto, you will understand why the market is leaning more so towards safe haven assets over risk assets like crypto. And you will stop wondering, like all of these beta male simps calling out bullish price predictions every single day, waking up hoping for higher prices, but every single day they get fucking slaughtered by the market, why your crypto portfolio right now is not performing well. That doesn't mean that it might not perform well in 6 months from now or a year from now, but right now, why are you most likely down in the red? Unless you bought, today and we saw a slight dead cat bounce, you're most likely in the red, right? Just like everybody else. Why is that? Stop wondering why and understand why. And it'll seriously, you'll have this like aha moment and you'll stop worrying about all the shit that everybody else is worried about. Excuse my French, by the way, if any younger listeners are listening in and tuning in, but this stuff heats me up. Okay. So now that we understand why gold is bullish, let's understand in detail why crypto has pulled back and why your bullish Moonboy targets have not yet been hit. I reiterate, yet. I want everybody listening to remember, long-term, I am bullish on crypto. Don't think that that's not, well, CYPRX is bearish on crypto. No, understand this is intraday. This is month-to-month perspective. 6 months from now, this environment could change. I hope that it does for the sake of everybody listening, because just like you guys, I want to see bullish Moonboy heights come into fruition too. Okay, but I'm realistic. And that's the difference between here at CYPRX and other influencers, is they involve all their opinions in the market. And here at CYPRX, we involve data and fundamentals and ongoing trends that actually matter. So here you can see the primary reason, let's correct this. The primary reason that crypto is bearish is because of the global landscape. Since around March 2024, we have seen an increased demand for safe haven assets and less of a demand for risk assets like crypto. And just so you guys don't think I'm making this up out of my ass, Here is a perfect example of an inverse correlation. Gold, I just showed you all, is a safe haven asset. It is classified by large financial institutions and investors all over the globe as a safe haven asset. Here's a screenshot of updated price action from March 2024. We can see a massive injection of capital into the market. Significantly enough, if we look over on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see the total cryptocurrency market cap. And interestingly enough, don't you think it's kind of, what do you think? It's a coincidence, or do you think it's actual order flow in the market? Look at March 2024 in the total cryptocurrency market. When I mentioned to you guys that prices topped out at $2.7 trillion, what did we start to see in crypto? A pullback, right? A pullback in crypto happened at the same exact time massive capital injections into gold started happening. Why? This was not for just no reason. Let's go take a look at some of the fundamentals, okay? So we're going to go in and we're going to talk about the current global environment and how and what has been characterizing it. So we're going to talk about some different factors that have weighed on risk sentiment and boosted demand for safe haven assets. But just before we get started, to reiterate what I just mentioned to you guys, let's go take a look at some fundamentals from March of this year, when the cryptocurrency market started to pull back. We're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Here is a fundamental report. You can see fears over the Israel and Hamas conflict spilling into a broader regional war continues to run high. Look at the date of this fundamental, March 29th, 2024. Interestingly enough, that is the same exact time that a increased demand for safe haven assets like gold really started to kick up. As you can see, inversely correlated, investors with much more money than you and I that understand where to put their money in times of fear, uncertainty, and doubt started taking profit from crypto. In this entire freaking time from March 2024 up until about now, you have consistently seen bullish Moonboy price projections, $100 price targets on XRP. Everything's going to the fucking moon. Yet the smart money has been dumping on you, selling their positions and buying gold. Okay? Am I starting to make sense now? And I'm not saying that that environment's not going to change. I have a firm belief that in the near future, crypto will turn around and we will see an exponential supermarket cycle like everybody hopes for. But that time today is not right now. Okay? So let's continue this. Let's understand why risk assets have been bearish. We're going to talk about three main factors, and we've broken all these down bit by bit and piece by piece in our private community with typed out fundamentals report every single day, going over these in detail. And you guys will have access to that. So number one, the recent yen carry trade unwinding. So here is a link. If you guys are following along with this report, remember this report that I'm currently reading is on the X Space. You guys can go and read it yourselves if you want. Here is a clickable link breaking down in detail the yen carry trade that just happened the past 2 weeks. Okay. So if you guys want more information on it, you're more than welcome to go and dive in. We are still seeing headlines right now pumping fear, uncertainty, and doubt of a further unwinding of the yen carry trade situation, possibly unfolding further. Here you can see an updated fundamental from August 13th, 2024. The big carry trade unwind is far from over, strategists warn. So we're still seeing this fear linger over the markets. And just so that you guys don't think that I'm making it up, that this weighs on the price of digital assets and creates a risk-off market mood, again, here is attached fundamentals. So that way you know that we're getting this info off of data. Here's a piece from August 12th, 2024. Global markets react to the Japanese yen carry trade unwinding. And here it mentions, last Monday, global equities and digital assets underwent a dramatic sell-off as the unwinding of the Japanese yen carry trade rattled the markets. So if last week, the yen carry trade completely weighed on the price of digital assets, and then this week, we're still seeing those headlines create fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market, do you think investors with more money than you and I that actually move these markets are going to be taking aggressive bullish bets in crypto? No, 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 no. What are they going to be doing? They're going to be seeking safe haven assets because they know that in a risk-off market environment, safe haven assets tend to perform better, as you can see reflected in the price of gold increasing in value and crypto continuing to decrease in value temporarily, right? Okay, now that we understand that. So that's scenario number one. That's reason number one, crypto has been predominantly bearish over the past consecutive couple of weeks, zooming out since March. Global recessionary fears. Here you can see a fundamental piece from August 5th, 2024. Crypto plunges amid recessionary fears amidst this recent market sell-off, specifically mentioning Bitcoin and Ethereum. We plummeted to new monthly lows as concerns over US potential recessions and weak economic data rattled the financial markets. We had the NFP report at the beginning of August come out absolutely horrible, sparking recessionary fears. When recessionary fears are sparked, what happens? More investor demand for safe haven, less demand for risk assets. Plain and simple supply and demand dynamics, right? Nothing hard about understanding that. That's reason number 2, that your bullish Moonboy price predictions are not coming into fruition right now, as of today. Number 3, we also have the escalating tensions in the Middle East, which I mentioned to you guys has been a key driver of demand for gold. And here you can see a breaking headline, escalating tensions in the Middle East. Bitcoin nosedives as political tensions in the Middle East escalate. This is from August 13th, 2024. So this week, right? Just so that way you guys don't think I'm making this up. And again, I have attached fundamentals showing you all that this is all still updated. So we're still seeing fear, uncertainty, and doubt pumped through the market. Okay. So I wrote, this has all led to an increase in demand for traditional safe haven assets. This is evident by the prices of gold reaching new all-time highs. All these reports were screenshotted when I was writing this report this morning. Today, gold breaks new all-time high because of geopolitical tensions and Fed rate cuts, softer dollar. See, you guys see all the headlines, right? So where is the order flow in the market right now? You guys should know how to answer that question by now. The order flow in the market, as we can see, gold hitting new all-time highs, is showing an increased investor appetite for safe haven and not risk assets. So when you're following these bullish moon boys and they're touting $100 XRP price targets and it's not happening and XRP is continuously dropping lower, it is because right now XRP is not being utilized for its utility. It is a speculative trading asset. It is an asset that individuals can go and they can trade. It's not being utilized for its utility yet. And neither are any of these other digital assets. As a matter of fact, 95% of transactions in this digital asset space as of time of recording this video are still through speculative day trading. That means that if the day trading environment is risk off, crypto is not going to perform well. No matter what happens with the SEC versus Ripple case, no matter what positive developments unfold behind the scenes, which we've seen time and time again, and I'm sure people get tired of seeing all these bullish fundamentals never affect price. It is because these assets are not being adopted yet fully by financial institutions. They're not being used for their utility yet, but that is all set to change over the long term. Like you heard the lady at the beginning of this call say in this digital dollar project with 402 views, this is going to take a while. This is not an overnight get rich quick scheme. So when you understand in the short term why prices are pulling back, you stop being so worried and you stop being so fearful and you start understanding where the money is at, where the smart money is at for now. Okay. So here you guys can see the current market context as of time of recording this video. When I took this screenshot this morning, the fear and greed index was at 27 out of 100. You can see an updated fundamental report from the 16th of 2024, August. Bitcoin plummets to 56,000 and recovers slightly. All coins are volatile. Regardless of the broader market sentiment across cryptocurrency markets, the market sentiment remains fearful. The popular tracker that gauges market sentiment currently indicates a value of 27, which means the industry is currently in a state of fear. And now after watching this video breakdown, you understand why. There are 3 main factors weighing on risk sentiment. Okay? It's very simplistic. Look at this freaking idiot in the comments. This guy is an analytical bullshitter. No, you're just one of those idiots that I'm calling out that doesn't want to take a step further and understand how to educate yourselves about these markets. It's not hard, bro. All this stuff that I'm spitting to you right now, if you think that this is ridiculous, you're an idiot. Straight up. Straight up. Like I'm not, straight up, you're an idiot. If you think that this stuff doesn't matter, you are an absolute idiot. I don't care if you're new to the markets or not. If you're new to the markets, then you shouldn't be calling me a bullshitter who's been in these markets for 9 years spitting facts to people. Instead, you should be listening with ears open, taking fucking notes and tapping the fuck in, bro. Not talking shit on the internet like a fucking beta male simp. You fucking simp, bro. Like, how are people that are in crypto, the same asset class that I'm in, not tired of fucking people like this? that come on the internet and talk shit, bro. Like, what? Oh my God. How in the world do you even survive in real life? You probably fucking don't. Oh my man. Holy crap, bro. People are so fucking brainwashed. Anyways, let's continue. So we got the yen carry trade, right? We got global recessionary fears. We got geopolitical tensions, all factors weighing on the current market landscape. Okay. When you understand that, you understand why watching these bullish moon boys day to day is not good for your health. Instead, you should be focused on taking advantage of discounted opportunities in the now, getting educated with a like-minded community in the now, networking with people that actually understand the markets in the now, and focused on building your personal relationships and taking care of your personal responsibilities in the now, so that way you can outlast everybody else in the market that is fearful, that is concerned, that is uneducated, that is not thriving. Because you, if you focused on the things that I just mentioned, will be the type of person at the end of the day that will come out on top. Remember, we talked about two individuals, right? You got the first individual, the proactive individual, who invests in education and continuously expands their knowledge and actively learns about the market trends. And then you have the second individual, like the ignorant person that just commented in the comments, the passive one, who follows unqualified sources and relies on vague bullish price predictions, never bothering to deepen their understanding about the markets. It's logic. Who do you think will succeed? It's the first person, straight up. Easy, right? When you understand that, you will stop knocking knowledge like it's some fucking problem, and you will start taking a more proactive approach. Man, crazy, bro, how somebody just came in the comments like that after what I just spit to y'all, showing you facts. Like you're acting like this is my personal opinion. Like I'm here trying to make this stuff up. No, this is coming from fundamental information in the market that, again, like I mentioned, all retail traders have access to, but yet the vast amount, 98%, will not. They will not tap into it because it's boring, because it doesn't spark your dopamine. It doesn't tell you that XRP is going to go to $100, so people don't want it, right? Come into the CYPRX community and you will see that every single person in the CYPRX community will tell you this is the stuff that has given them an edge in the market. Hands down, I guarantee you that. I stand by that. So, to further my case, I have some other information. This is going to really piss people off because this is the touchy subject, but regulations are not here yet. And that is one of the many factors that is driving institutional sentiment and order flow in this market. Institutions cannot touch this space yet on a level in which you and I want them to. We want them to flow in with massive amounts of money, right? All these bullish moon boys, that's what they tell you. And I think it's going to happen. I personally do. I have 110% conviction that over the long run, it is going to happen. But we need to see regulations. Institutions, unlike you and I, cannot touch this market unless they have clear rules of the road. So let me show you guys again. I'm not making this up off the top of my head. I'm going to show you all people with many more credentials than you and I myself included talk about how the current market landscape is unregulated, which creates a level of fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the markets, which stops investors with much more money than you and I from joining in on this space. So here you can see, okay, this is a fundamental report from August 16th, 2024. So it's updated. Fundamental headlines are reading that there's only a 20% chance of crypto legislation getting passed this year globally. Right? At the end of the day, global regulations are for a fact developing. We're seeing market makers, we're seeing regulators come into fruition. They're having closed door meetings. They're talking about it, right? But are they really going to be fully solidified this year? Most likely not. How many months are left in this year? Only a couple. I showed you guys a fundamental piece where right now there's only 18 people on the regulatory forefront in the UK working on global regulation for 560 million people. If you guys want to go look at that fundamental piece, go check out my X profile. That's crazy. Okay. So regulations are happening, but they're not happening overnight. And when you understand that, you'll take a step back and you'll realize that this is not a week-long journey. This is not a month-long journey. This journey, if you're invested in a crypto, is going to be between now and probably 2030 for it to really fully materialize, where we see trillions upon trillions of dollars coming to fruition. And that's just real, right? For us to see 20 trillion, 30 trillion, $50 trillion market cap, we're definitely going to be inching towards 2030 before that happens. If you don't think that that's the case, then you are not realistic at all. If you think that that $20 trillion is going to come into this market by year end 2024, you are so manipulated by bullish moon boys. That's not happening this year. Maybe by the end of next year, maybe rolling into 2026, definitely heading towards 2027 and beyond, right? But right now, tomorrow, no, you're not going to wake up and $20 trillion is going to unfold into this space. That is not realistic. Stop thinking that way. Get rid of that mindset, okay? So I just wanted to show you guys an updated fundamental piece, and then I wanted to play a video clip from an individual representative with many more credentials than you and I telling you the same thing, that regulation right now is not here, but it is coming. So we have something to look forward to, but in the meantime, we can understand why institutional smart money is not flooding into this space, because they can't. They want to, trust and believe they want to, and we're seeing that unfold at a rapid pace with the Bitcoin, the Ethereum ETFs, institutions actually coming out publicly on stage and saying that they want to adopt cryptocurrencies, not only on their public addresses to the world, but also in their fundamentals, in their PDFs, and their private reports to their investors. They're opening up corridors for their clients to invest. We know banks are coming, but the money, it's not in the market yet. And there's a reason why. So let me show you that, okay? So that way you guys don't think, again, I'm just talking out of my cahoots. Let's listen to somebody with many more credentials than you and I. If you guys are liking this video so far, sorry I got heated. You know what? Matter of fact, let me apologize to that individual that I just destroyed your life like that. I'm sorry. I'm usually not an aggressive person, but I can't fucking stand ignorant people. If there's anything in this world that irritates me more than anything, it's people that talk out of their ass and don't listen before speaking, right? So I apologize, but at the end of the day, get a grip, man. Get a grip and tap in, right? I'm not here to try to manipulate you or get you to join my community. I don't give a fuck if you join CYPRX or not. We're going to continue to thrive with or without you. The information is here for you if you want it. That's a fact. And if you're willing to tap in, trust and believe it will benefit you. And if not, then guess what? You're going to be one of the second people on the list that I just mentioned that ignores information, that doesn't tap in, that gets left behind, because there is going to be a certain onset of people. Out of all the people listening into this call, 500 people, there'll probably be like 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 people that actually reach out to me and join CYPRX, and everybody else will just, flutter away and just become other market participants, not actually taking an advantage of information and knowledge. And that's okay. This stuff is not made for everybody. You think that everybody that comes into the stock markets is successful? Heck no. Just like in crypto, not everybody will be successful. This takes time. This takes effort. This takes a maturation in your approach to these markets. And not a lot of people are willing to take that action. If you are the type of person that is willing to do that, then trust and believe there are communities out there like ours here at CYPRX and many others out there. You just have to find them that are willing to help you get a grip. Okay. So anyways, back to my tout. Here is a video clip of an individual representative from Circle. This is from a panel discussion that took place, I think, a couple weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Stablecoins hear from the issuers. A Ripple representative is on stage here, or if I'm not mistaken, I think he's a Ripple representative. He's the new head of the stablecoin division in Ripple. I believe he's actually from a bank. And then we have another individual from Clearbank sitting on this same panel discussion. And just listen to what this representative says right here.
Fund managing banking relationships. I spend a lot of my time on issues of regulation and banking relationships. Right? You started with the history of the US dollar, when every individual bank issued a separate banknote pre a Federal Reserve currency. You kind of talked about how they traded, and then with Emma, you talked about the interoperability, which is critical. And I mean, let's simplify things, but it's instructive. There's kind of government money, it's paper money, and then there's commercial bank money, and now there's this new form factor of money. They're all money. The regulation hasn't caught up to make stablecoins money yet, which means there are stablecoins issued by many people with many different characteristics, because there isn't yet a coherent, consistent regulatory framework, and there will be. Banks play a crucial role. Think about government money.
Right. So I'll just leave it there. This is literally from a couple of weeks ago, so that way you guys don't think I'm just waking up in the morning and I'm like, oh, I'm going to tell everybody that regulations aren't here yet. No, I generate these opinions by listening to these people with much more credentials than myself say these things. this gentleman, literally working in the industry, just confirmed to you guys that regulations are not here yet. Banks cannot get involved yet because there aren't regulations yet, right? So we understand the terminology, we understand the current environment. So we have to learn how to operate within the current environment and stop expecting and hoping for things and being unrealistic, right? Here's another video compilation right here. This is a gentleman, a representative. I don't remember what bank he's from or what role he plays off the top of my head. This is a video breakdown of him confirming that banks, as of right now, view cryptocurrencies as the most riskiest asset class, which just goes to back the whole fundamental piece that I just showed you guys, why there is more of a demand for safe haven assets over risk assets, so that way you understand why since March of this year, crypto has been in a slight decline and gold, inversely correlated, has actually been in an uptrend or hitting brand new all-time highs. So that way you can see where the smart money is at. The smart money knows that the current market sentiment right now is risk off, and they understand where to put their money when that environment unfolds, which right now is in a safe haven asset like gold. When that sentiment starts to shift, which I hope that it does soon, just like you all, we will start to see profit taking on safe haven assets like gold, and we will see that money flow back into crypto. We will see the crypto market eventually at some point in time bottom out, and we will start to see price appreciation. But for now, that environment has not been created yet. We have to be patient, we have to be data dependent, and we have to understand the perspectives from these institutions, because they are the ones that make these markets, not retail traders. So take a second and listen.
But that's why I also mentioned the non-crypto regulation that we should also look into. For instance, we are currently discussing the prudential framework for banks, so the Basel rules transformed into the EU legislation. And there's a lot of push actually from some parts of industry, but also political players, to actually indicate crypto investments as the highest risk parts of assets for banks, which in the end would mean that there's actually no involvement for banks, because it would be just way too risky with crypto. So I think, and this is also why the industry should actually look into what's happening in the discussions on the regulatory framework and trying to influence it. Because if this happens, it may take banks a number of years before we actually enter into the situation. But I think there's a number of issues.
Right. So he talks about a lack of regulation. He talks about how banks see this asset class as the riskiest asset class. And if it continues to be that way, then it will hinder the adoption of assets digitally from the bank and financial institutions from getting involved, and it'll prolong this adoption curve. You understand that, right? So the reason why I'm trying to show you this information to full circle is to fully break down for you guys why crypto since March has not necessarily been performing well. Albeit, yes, there's been some slight pumps, and if you caught those pumps via day trading style approaches and whatnot, you have come up significantly. But zooming out, looking at the cryptocurrency market cap as a whole, let me share my screen with you guys. We can see that since the beginning of March, let's just say March 12th, give or take, crypto has been in a slight decline, right? We've pulled back all the way to roughly about $1.7 trillion. And the question right now remains, are we going to flip, turn around and break bullish back above $2.1 trillion, which I think is a significant key psychological level that we need to maintain bullish price action above in order to see any type of significant turnaround in crypto, including a market sentiment turnaround. For example, Middle East tensions start to de-escalate. That whole entire environment start to dwindle away. The yen carry trade ideology that's weighing on market sentiment right now also start to dwindle away, along with recessionary fears and scares start to dwindle away. If we can see a market environment where those things start to unfold and improve risk sentiment starts to increase, where investors with much more money than you and I start to profit take from safe haven and then start to, or are more inclined to take on risk by buying up crypto assets, then we'll see that market environment unfold. And until that happens, we're going to continue to see this slight retracement unfold. With the market, every single time that there's a pump, the market has continued to make lower highs and lower lows. Currently, right now, the month high of August comes in at roughly about $2.3 trillion. And we just made a new monthly low. So the question is, for the rest of this month, rolling into September, if we see the market mood unfold and improve, then we could possibly start to break back above $2.1 trillion and start to create bullish order flow, which is what I hope happens, and start to correct this most recent downside move. And if not, you guys now understand what to pay attention to. If we continue to see geopolitical uncertainty, we see more war, fear, uncertainty, and doubt pumped in the market, like we see any escalations in the Middle East tensions driving more demand for gold and less demand for risk assets. We see the yen carry trade unfold even further. Maybe we even see the Bank of Japan hike interest rates again, right? Creating more demand for the yen like we just most recently saw. We know now, after having watched this breakdown, what the current environment is and what could negatively affect risk assets. So if we want to see risk assets perform well, we need to see those current environments better. We need to see the current risk market environment healthier. And right now, we have yet to see that. So right now, we're suppressed below $2.1 trillion. If the market environment does get worse, my projection is that we are going to come for this monthly low in August, tapping into roughly about $1.5 trillion, which I don't want everybody, if that does happen, to be fearful, because if that does happen, looking at the charts, let's go to the higher time frame on the weekly.
Bro, we can't see the screen though.
Oh, dang. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Dang, I wish you would have told me 5 minutes ago. Cool. All right. So anyways, what I was saying is, right, depreciation since March. Market right now suppressed below $2.1 trillion. We know why. We know why since March the market has slightly pulled back, right? The question is, do we break above $2.1 trillion with the market improved sentiment and mood? Or do we continue this most recent downtrend since the beginning of the year and tap into lower prices? I firmly believe that even if we do decline further down into 1.5 trillion under worsening market conditions, like we see geopolitical tensions and escalations, more demand for safe haven, right? And any of those scenarios unfold, we're still bullish as long as we are above 1.5 trillion, which comes in at the roughly around January to February 2024 lows. If we can hold above this area, it would still look to me like healthy price action, right? Where the market could just be pulling back, correcting this massive bullish expansion. We could come back down to 1.5 trillion, reaccumulate orders, and then break higher. I'm not projecting that this is going to happen. What would cause this to happen is if the risk environment continued to worsen. Like I mentioned, if we see new headlines breaking, like the United States got involved in the Middle East tensions, Hamas or Iran attacking Israel, some crazy, massive freaking headline, breaking news, war breaks out, right? That would all create more fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market. Investors with more money than you and I would sell crypto, risk assets most likely, and buy more gold or more safe haven assets. We have to react to that. We don't control that, okay? We would just need to react to that. Inversely, if those environments improve, we see de-escalations of Middle East tensions. Yen carry trade, like I mentioned, starts to wither away. Recessionary fears start to dwindle. We start to see economic improvement on a global scale. That's all going to create more risk appetite. And that would create an environment for us to possibly break back above 2.1 trillion and start to break into higher levels in areas of interest above 2.4, 2.5, and possibly even 2.6, correcting this most recent market downturn. Right? So we just need to be reactive. We just need to be cognizant of the current market environment. The reason why I wanted to break this video down for you guys is to encourage you all to take action, to encourage you all to not belittle yourselves and just fall victim to believing all of these bullish moonboy hypists that literally have no idea why the current market environment right now has been in a pullback phase, right? So hopefully this video breakdown has encouraged you to do that. Like I mentioned to the individual that I freaking came at a second ago, I'm not necessarily going to sit here and say I'm sorry, but tap in. Don't be the type of person that knocks this information, that is in disbelief that this is what moves the market. As you can clearly see the fundamental headlines, I'm not making this information up off the top of my head. I'm applying it to the markets to give myself an edge to understand how to situate myself on the right side of the order flow. When you understand that, you will understand when to take advantage, when to sell, when to take profit, when to implement capital into the market, because now is a really great time, in my personal opinion, again, not financial advice, to start to dollar cost average in. Why? Because the rest of the market is fearful. The rest of the market is wondering what the heck is going on. Usually when the market's discounted in a fear-based mindset, that is when money is made. That is when investors that have been sitting on the sidelines with capital, they go in and they deploy, buying up everybody's fear at a discount. When the market gets out of this fearful state, prices start to appreciate, and everybody that was buying when everybody else is fearful then goes into profit. It's that simple, right? Buy when everybody else is fearful, sell when everybody else is greedy. You can imagine that throughout the entirety of this year, everybody's been buying up digital assets. Here at CYPRX, we've been paying attention to when to buy, specifically when to buy. And that has been when everybody has been fearful in these market downturns. We were buying back in April. Here you can see a fundamental piece, April 13th, 2024. Go look at this weekend's worth of price action. The market freaking tanked. Everybody was fearful. We were buying here at CYPRX. Why? Because we knew long-term perspective, eventually market sentiment will change. People will stop being fearful. And we know zooming out, the long-term uptrend is still intact. Okay. So I encourage you guys to understand these things. I've remembered saying at the bottom of this here real quick. I just want to go over this. I said, please note, all right, none of this is financial advice, but here are some steps that I am taking in the now to survive long-term. Number one, I'm not overexposed to the market. So the multi-six-figure portfolio that I have in crypto, I'm okay with it completely going to zero if that were to happen. It won't affect me. I'll be down a couple of days. I'll be like, dang, that sucked that I lost that, but it won't affect my personal life. Okay. All the money that I have invested, I've come into cahoots with possibly losing. You need to do the same, right? If tomorrow everything gets rug pulled, at the end of the day, guess what? You know, it is what it is. Don't get emotionally attached to your investments. If you're emotionally attached to your investments, you are overexposed. I cannot stress that enough. Try your hardest to detach your emotions from the markets. When you can do that, you stop becoming opinionated and you start becoming fact-based. I've also started building a DeFi portfolio, which has been generating me personally over $2,000 a month since pretty much March of this year. I encourage you all to take a step further and dive into how to make money in market downturns, or regardless if the market is bullish, bearish, or sideways moving, through the utilization of DeFi. If you don't understand DeFi and you're in crypto right now, honestly, you're sleeping on massive opportunities to expand and grow your wealth while you're waiting for this next bull market cycle. Because right now, you capitalize on APRs that a traditional financial institution or any type of traditional investment through the utilization of deploying your current crypto assets will never, ever give you. Never, ever give you. You will never see 20, 40, 60, 80% in traditional asset classes. Okay. And you can take advantage of that in DeFi right now. Again, not financial advice. You need to educate yourself. You need to lay a foundation. You need to take a strategical and mature approach. You need to understand that the market is not here to make you money. You are here to learn the market to make money. The market doesn't care if you make money or not. Okay. So if you come in thinking that the market owes you something, the market is probably just going to take your fucking money and go home. And you're going to be left dry out in the cold, wondering what the heck, that this is all a scam. When in reality, it was just because your approach, like this gentleman right here, right, in the screenshot that I use as an example, Slumdog Millionaire, it's not the market that sucks. He called this space shit, right? He says right here, I'm getting out of this shit space. It's not the market that's shitty. It's his shitty approach. And when you tweak that mindset, you start to join a like-minded community, tap in. I can't stress enough. So I'm done ranting. Anyways, I'll leave the floor open for discussion. Mr. Aqua, what you got, bro? Give me some feedback because my throat hurts now.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're speaking all facts. Like, this was not your opinion. You were showing us inverse correlation. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Like, everything that you showed, like, I mean, it speaks loudly, bro. Like, it's, you know, the risk right now is high, so people don't want to hold crypto assets. They want to put it in gold. It's so easy to see, bro. Like, I don't see how someone could come and call you an analytical bullshitter. Like, that to me is just like such out of left field. Like, I'm like, yo, like, did you not hear what he said? Like, it's not like you weren't showing anything or any proof. Like, you were showing us proof. You were showing us the inverse correlations. You were showing us the headlines. I mean, I don't know how much more you need. It's not like you were up here just speaking with not showing us anything. Then, yeah, maybe somebody can be like, I don't know, this guy might be bullshitting. But like, you're showing us evidence and proof, bro. Like, you know, to the guy who said that, man, like, you should really reevaluate, you know, what you're saying, bro, because what you're saying doesn't even really make sense. And yeah, man, I mean, no offense to you, but like, and another thing too, it's like, you know, people get personal for whatever reason. Like, you're too young, bro. Like, age has nothing to do with anything, man. Like, so the fact that you brought that up kind of speaks loudly on who you are as an individual. So yeah, man, I heard you loud and clear. I learned a few different things right now from you, because as you know, I'm still learning about all this stuff. I've been in the space for only 2.5 years now. So like, there's still a lot more to learn. I haven't been in the game like yourself 9 years. And I feel like, it's a matter of, all right, how long you been in the game, right? And then how much success have you had while you were in the game? It's really easy. Like when we look at athletes, Reggie Bush, this guy was a massive star in college. When he got to the NFL, his numbers were not the same. So like, how successful was he? You know what I mean? So like, numbers don't lie. If we look at your scoreboard, bro, like you were telling everybody months before all this bloodshed happened that bloodshed was coming. And nobody wanted to listen. Nobody really wanted to believe it. People were in their feelings, in their emotions. No, I think a bull run is going to happen. No, I think we're going to moon tomorrow. And like, bro, like that's like an immature way of thinking. And I love the way you always speak on like, we got to start thinking maturely in this space. We really do.
I like the psychology piece that you touched on, because I don't think that it's like weird, man. Like people that come onto the internet and talk crap, it's like they don't understand what reality they're living. Like the individual said, I'm too young. First of all, I probably have more life experience than most 50-year-old men. I've been to war twice. Like I was in the military for 5.5 years, deployed twice, like been through a lot of shit in my life. It's not anything about age, it's about experience, So anyways, that's besides the point. But coming on the internet and talking crap, first of all, you can see the type of person that sits behind the computer that uses the internet to not better themselves. It's like they come onto the internet and they're projecting their personal perspective on themselves out to people. It's like, it's weird. Like I've never come on the internet, like just woken up one day and be like, I'm going to go talk shit to people. That like, bro, like even when I was younger, I never did that. That's weird. Like the internet to me has always been for me to find information, because that's what it's for. It's turned into this opinionated space, and people need to come back to their roots and understand that this technological evolution that we're living through, including the internet evolution that we went through, it was for us as human beings to elevate our way of thinking and our mental approach to certain things and situations. And people that aren't using it to that benefit are honestly doing themselves an injustice. So I know that I let this person get under my skin in the middle of the rant, but I know long term, this person is not going to be here as long as me, or is not going to be as successful as me, because I'm that number one person in the two people that I explained in this breakdown. I'm the proactive person. I'm the person that will change my bias based off of facts and not opinions. I'm the type of person that will manage my risk properly. I'm the type of person that will motivate people and bring others up with me, when inversely, that person is literally the complete opposite. They knock information. They don't want to tap into other information because they think people that aren't older than them can't give them education. They don't want to join private communities, and they don't bring people up. How do you even perceive yourself as someone who's going to be successful with that way of thinking? It makes no sense, bro. It's like literally they live in this deluded state of mind where they come on the internet and think the internet's going to give them all the answers without putting in the elbow grease. Shit's crazy to me, bro. I don't even know. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, as I read that and I seen that, I was like, let me go check out this account. And it's really easy to see. I mean, again, no offense to you, XTC, but you put yourself out there when you made this comment. And I went and looked at your page, and it's like, bro, it's a bunch of retweets, and you don't even put any quotes on these retweets. So like, you kind of exposed yourself. You're just adopting opinions, bro. Like you're literally adopting opinions. If you go to Cypress's Twitter and look at his profile and look at everything that this man is posting, bro, he's giving you links, screenshots, educating the community for those who tap in and will take an additional 20 seconds, 30 seconds out of their day to read what he has put on his profile. It's so easy to see, like, and when you compare the two, it's like, yo, okay, you're just retweeting a bunch of other people's opinions that you've adopted, and you have some other person that's actually doing the elbow grease, reading these, documents that nobody wants to read, watching these videos that only have 300, 400 views, going out of their way to even hunt for this type of stuff. I mean, it's really easy to see, man. And you know what? No offense to you again, bro, but like you should really switch up your game, bro. Cause like your game right now, although you might win if you stay in long enough and you catch this bull wave, but long term, adopting opinions, bro, you're not going to last long. You're really not. You really need to apply yourself. You really need to understand the market for what it is. Like, you can't just say, oh, Trump and interest rates, period. That doesn't even make no sense, bro. Why don't you educate why Trump and why interest rates? You're just saying that, attacking folks. Like, this is the mindset you do not have in the space.
You know what? It's really crazy, bro. Like, it honestly comes down to human beings losing a lot of themselves. Like, let me put it for example. In my personal belief, again, this is the personal opinion. It is my personal opinion that it should be the quest of every single human being to build up their own lives in a personal way, up until the point where they can thrive enough to help benefit others. If you're not living your life every day to the fullest degree to uplift yourself personally, fixing your debt, fixing your finances, becoming the best physically fit version of yourself, becoming the best intellectually inclined version of yourself, how do you ever expect to help others? And it should be everybody's goal. Imagine if we lived in an environment, I know this might sound like hippie, but imagine if we lived in an environment where everybody took care of themselves in such a way that it allowed them to take care of other people more beneficially. And that's where I think a lot of this stems from. This like, come on the internet and troll people mindset is like, people just aren't really good in their own personal lives, bro. So they come on the internet and they just like inflict all their opinions on the internet to other people and talk shit and talk down. Like I mentioned, the reality is because people have lost touch, bro. They've lost touch with being the best versions of themselves. So they have to knock others down. And that's just so crazy to me that you would want to live that way. Like, you probably go home, or you're at your house right now, you're alone. I could go right now into the CYPRX community and ask all people from all over the world. I got friends in freaking Africa. I got friends in freaking Australia. I got people in Mexico in the CYPRX community, Canada. And I guarantee you, I could reach out to any single one of them and be like, hey, if I buy a plane ticket and I fly out there, will you pick me up from the airport? I guarantee you that every single CYPRX member right now will damn sure pick me up from the airport. That is powerful. I created that community through the power of sharing information and being good to people. Like, you think that shit just happens for no reason? Not a lot of people can fly all over the world right now and have somebody pick them up from the airport. Here at CYPRX, anybody in the CYPRX community can reach out to another member in the CYPRX community and do the same thing that I can. That's powerful. Why would you not want to be a part of that? Albeit you might not use that, right? But that is powerful. Why would you want to be the type of troll that sits on the opposite side of the spectrum and just attacks people all day? Bro, what a fucking life. Like, why would you choose that over power?
Facts, bro.
It makes no sense, bro. It makes
Angel agrees too. He's over saying, facts, brother. Hit me up anytime.
Yeah, you already know what it is. And Angel's one of our best traders. He's sitting here listening in. He already knows all this stuff, man. Anyways, I'm done rapping for the day. Let me hop off here. I got stuff to do, man. I'm done. I spoke my mind. I spoke my piece, bro. Thanks for tapping in. Anybody else that's listening, I don't want anybody to get offended. I know we started going off topic, but I hope you guys learned something. Okay, I hope you guys learned something. Don't forget that full report is on my X profile. Like Mr. Aqua said, I try to share the information that's within inside our CYPRX community on the X profile. I know I don't get around to sharing it all. So if you guys want access to that, you're willing to pay a little bit extra for a further deepening and understanding of the markets via your education, come tap in. Visit CYPRXtrading.com. Come tap in with us. At the end of the day, you join the membership. You don't find it valuable, you can always cancel your membership. But I guarantee you come in, you're going to see the value and you're going to want to stick around because there's so much information to digest. You're not just going to be able to digest it all in 1 month. You're going to have to take some time to put in the elbow grease and read, learn fundamentals, join the Zoom calls, join in on the price predictions and the price analysis that's accurate every single day, giving people an edge in the market. Tap into what institutional scalpers providing with the institutional delta zones, levels that literally nobody in the retail game right now has access to the levels that we have access to in the CYPRX private community, right? Because Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, and don't adopt the opinion that DeFi is a scam and it's going to go away. Don't adopt that opinion and come check out what we're talking about when it comes to DeFi as well. Because, dude, like, you'll be surprised what you find out when it comes to DeFi. Like, that opinion adopting is like spread across so many different subjects. I mean, even outside this space too, people just adopt opinions. So, you know, I mean, there's only 5 to 10 million people involved in DeFi right now. So that means all 625 people that are in here, you know, probably 1 or 2 people are really involved in DeFi right now. And everyone else is kind of like, oh, I'm not touching that. It's a scam. It's going to go away. It's not going to be here for long haul. And that couldn't be further from the truth, man. So do your own homework, tap in, and yeah, back to you, bro.
Man. All right, bro. I appreciate you. As always, man, Mr. Aqua, we'll tap in next Friday. Everybody else listening, appreciate you guys for tapping in. I'll see you guys next Friday. Hope you learned something. Tap in with us. And if not, you know, you just want to check us out, you guys have both of our YouTube channels publicly. You guys can go check those out. And then we also are all on X. Many blessings to you guys. And I'll see you all in the next Friday's live call.
Peace.